Hello, welcome to another episode of StampinWithCandace.com. Today I wanted to feature two different types of embossing, wet embossing and dry embossing. I'm actually going to do a very similar card for both of them using both different techniques. So we are actually going to be using the Friends Are Like Seashells set along with the seashells embossing folder. So we're going to start with the wet embossing, and I just have simple for the base of our card. We're just going to use some Whisper White cardstock or basic white, not sure what it's called anymore. Anyway, white cardstock here. And I'm going to fold both of them while I'm at it. And I'm just using our bone folder to fold them here. Then, for ease, I have actually taken all of the different seashell stamp sets and placed them on the largest block that we have. And I've pre-placed them on there. Now, you can use Versamark, but when I'm stamping in, embossing in white, I actually prefer to use the white craft ink. It's the only craft ink we still have, but I prefer the white. Now, to get a good image, I'm actually going to use I can't think of what this is called, but the foam pad beneath it, and I just have a piece of cardstock or scratch paper behind it so that I don't get ink all over my thing. And I'm just going to line this up here and press it down. Like I said, I have the foam behind it so that I get a good, nice ink. Now, to fill this in just a little bit, I have just the little sand on its own. And I'm just going to kind of stamp it randomly. It doesn't matter if it gets over the shells. That's fine. We just want to kind of fill in that empty space a little bit. So I'm just kind of stamping it kind of around the edges. And here, if you kind of, I don't know how well you can see that in the light, but kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. Then we're just going to take our white embossing powder here, and I just have a piece of paper folded in half to sprinkle it on. We're going to sprinkle that on half of it and flip it over here, sprinkle it here. If you tap the edges a little bit, it will help you get the excess off, and you can kind of see if there's anywhere that you may have missed. So, and then we would take our embossing, our heat embosser to emboss that. But for time's sakes, put this back in here really quick. We are going to, I already embossed one here, so you can see what we're going to do. Then I have my two colors, Crumb Cake and Coastal Cabana. Now, I actually kind of got the layout of this from my friend Alyssa Tilsner. She's a demonstrator in Australia, and she had posted a card kind of using these colors. And I just kind of fell in love with it and thought, oh, that would be so pretty using this stamp set that I haven't really played with much. So I'm going to use our blending brushes, or I honestly can't think of the name of them. I will put together a page though that you can click on that will have all of the products that I used in it. And you can see I'm just kind of doing a circular motion to add color. Now this is called Emboss Resist. And it is, you'll see that you go over what is already embossed here, and it, in a minute, I'll show you how the white actually is resistant on it. Now I'm going to add in my Coastal Cabana, and it doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit. It's kind of the look that we want. Gives you kind of that Caribbean coast feel. And you can see that there's darks and lights in it, which is fine. We also kind of like want that look in there as well. Just add a little bit more here. And there's no like perfect way to do this. We're just gonna kind of add that on. Now I'm just gonna take a piece of toilet paper, or you can use tissue, just something soft, and you'll notice how I'm rubbing it along there. If you can kind of see that white pops out now where it's kind of muted here. So I'm just wiping the ink off of the embossed, the white embossed. So it definitely like pops now, but that's why we call it the embossed resist, because we're making it, because it will resist the ink. So this is our background here. I'm going to set that aside for a minute, and I'm going to show you the other way that we can do this, which we're still going to emboss. This one we're going to dry emboss. So we're taking the embossing folder, and I'm going to flip it so you can see this back here is the back, with the Stampin' Up is the front. And since I want my ink to be on the front, we're going to do this part here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my brushes, and I am just going to ink up the embossing folder. So I'm putting it directly on the embossing folder. And we want to try and get it into some of those grooves when we're doing it. Again, it doesn't matter exactly where we put it. And I did notice when I made this, because I put this exactly the same direction as I did on the other, you'll notice when I show you the finished ones, they're all actually reversed, because this is it will flip over when we do the front, but it still works beautifully, and it doesn't really matter exactly where you're putting it. So we're just kind of filling that in a little bit more. Now, the one thing that I did kind of realize when I did this, so we're going to put our paper here, is I found that we typically have to do it twice. So I'm going to move this for a second, and I have our embossing and cutting machine here, and you can follow the directions. This is a thick one, so we're just going to use the base, and we're going to put this one in here, and we're going to put our number 4 plate across the top, and we're going to roll it through here. Now what I did is I held that when I took it out. I'm going to hold this as it is, move this aside for just a second, and we're going to open this back up, leaving that right where it's at. You can kind of see how it started to add color on there. Sorry, hopefully you can see with the lighting there. But I'm going to leave that right where it's at, and I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to add some more ink on here. So depending on the look you want, you obviously do not have to do it twice like I'm going to do, but I wanted more defined. Definitely wanted it darker in there. You could also go in and add more by brushing directly on it, but that's not the look that I was going for. So we're just going to do it like this. And since I left it right where it's at, it should fold right back on top of it. We'll grab our embossing machine again. Cut and emboss, I guess is what it's called. Big Boss, I think, is the nickname. We'll roll it through here. Move this out of the way. And then when we take it out, you can see not only does it have the cool texture from the embossing, but we've added color in a kind of fun, unique way to create our back. So to finish off the cards, we're actually going to grab just a quick thank you and a punch, and we're gonna stamp thank you. And you could do a happy birthday, you could do get well. I mean, this card is simple that you can do it with anything. So we're just gonna line that up and punch it out. And again, this technique can really be done with any kind of background. With the card that my friend made, she had used the butterflies background. So to finish off the cards, super simple. We're going to grab our base here, and we're going to grab some dimensionals, throw them on the back real quick. And it is gorgeous just like this, but I like a little bit of ribbon. So this is our, what is it? There's a name here somewhere. Pool Party. Not quite. Gross grain ribbon, I believe. So I'm just going to go across here like so. And I'm going to use my mini glue dots. And I'm just going to put one on each end here. And I'm going to put it around my card. Super simple. Pull those off the back there and attach it to my card. And I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals, put one on each side, top and bottom here, so that my ribbon can fit in between, and throw this one on here like so, and finish it off by just tying a little knot around the ribbon here. Snip off the ends. So we have this card. Now we're going to throw together the other one really quick. Basically exact same way here. Throw on some of our larger dimensionals. I like to put one in the middle just so that it doesn't sink in. We're going to throw our ribbon across it and add our mini glue dots to hold that ribbon in place. And we can add it to our background. Oops, I just did that upside down. I even checked it before I set it down. I'm going to flip that around really quick. Sorry about that. I'm sure I'm not the only person who's done that. All right, make sure it's opening the right way this time. We'll put it on there like so. Add our cute little tag. And wow, I am having a hard time with this one. Kind of crooked, which is fine, but I want it straight. So we're going to fix it. There we go. Going to add that right there and tie our ribbon. trim that off real quick. Now, just to finish them up, I wanted to add just a little bit of bling. So I've got our opal rounds here, and I'm going to use my take my pick tool here to grab some. Let's grab some little one. It doesn't want to pick up for me today, of course not. And another one here. So you can see now we have the same card. This one is our dry embossing using the embossing folder, and this one is our wet embossing using the stamps with the emboss resist technique. So I'd love to hear which one is your favorite and what you think about it. Please feel free to share and comment, and join me again soon. Thanks. Have a great day. Remember, you can visit me on my blog at stampinwithcandace.com, and I'll have all the cutting instructions as well as the products that I've used there. Thanks so much for visiting me, and have a fabulous day.